Good morning, everybody. We are here for our third Salt Live. Now, I am just going to invite our very special guest for this morning, who is someone quite special who I've been working with for a couple of years now. And I'm just going to... She has quite an amazing journey that I think a lot of you will like to hear about. The lovely Sarah Eddy, and let's just wait for her to join us. Where are you, Sarah? Are you on your way? She's just coming. She's here she is. She's joining. Are you going to accept the request, Sarah? Are you joining us? Is she coming? Fingers crossed. Just going to try and add her again a minute. The good fun of doing live events. She's trying to join. Where are you, Sarah? Believe it or not, she's just down the road from our office, so probably be easier to meet in the park. She's unable to join. Right. Let's try once more and see if we can get her to join. If not, we may have to record this conversation and share this later. Let's just see. I think there's a few issues on Instagram Live this morning because it took me a while to try and set it up. For some reason it went blank. Let's just try once more, Sarah. Can you join us? Is she there? Sarah, where are you?
Hello.
Yay!
I was trying to do it on my desktop. I've been sitting here getting it all ready, and no invite comes on the desktop Instagram. So hello.
You were just testing me for ad lib, weren't you?
It's very typical of me to do a little bit of slapstick before I join anything.
Oh so. No, it should have been the other way round. That was cruel.
Get you talking on your own for a little bit.
Yeah, just chatting to myself. How are you this morning?
I'm very good. I've got loads of new products arrived, so I've been opening them up, and but I'm in my studio looking outside, and it's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, it's stunning. We need lots more of this weather, please.
I know. I think this is the thing about working, isn't it? When you're looking outside, going, "Oh, I should be outside, really." But I've got so much to do at the moment. Yeah, that you have to sort of come to work and talk to you.
Yay! Fabulous. So, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's so lovely to be able to have this chat. We haven't had a catch up for a while, actually.
No, we haven't.
Nice to talk about some ideas and maybe inspire some people watching this morning. So, just to start with, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, so I'm Sarah Eddy, and I have turned to being an artist, and I'm living in Cornwall. I am Cornish, and I absolutely love painting. It's something I started doing a bit later in my life, and I naturally want to paint seascapes, and I happen to be in Cornwall, so and people love Cornwall. I love Cornwall, and I just ended up doing it full time now, so that's what I'm doing.
Brilliant, wonderful. And you're at the moment, I think you'll be happy for us to say, is that you work and practice in Truro, but obviously your landscapes are inspired by all across Cornwall. So you're kind of well positioned, aren't you, living in Truro, because you can go in any direction.
Yeah,
right in the middle.
I didn't plan on Truro. I was born in Falmouth, actually, and when I came back, I was in Brighton for 30 years, and I came back, and my mum was in Truro, and I looked after her for 4 years, and I ended up liking being in Truro, though I would love a sea view house, like many, many others. But it is wonderful, as you know, to be able to go either side, because Cornwall's not very wide. So you can go in any direction. Truro is the city of Cornwall, but it's not massive, but it's lovely. Every town in Cornwall is so different. So you could have a different atmosphere in every place, isn't it, Charlotte? And
Absolutely.
Truro, yeah, and Truro, you can go either side. We're in the middle, aren't we? And it's not very far to the south or the north coast. And I've actually really, I feel like it's the base for me. Get in the car and drive to any of the coastal paths around Cornwall, and it's just, I love it, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's no, it's lovely to be here, and you know, like you say, wouldn't it be lovely to have a sea view? But then you are kind of strategically positioned, and I think
you know, sit on one anyway, can't you? You can just go and see it anyway. It's not that far.
No, it's not far at all. And I think the other thing is that I've thought this for many years, ever since I studied at Falmouth. When was it? When was I studying there? 2005 to 2008. The amount of times people said to me, "Why do you live in Truro? Why aren't you living in Falmouth?" But I think there's a lot of creative activity going on in Truro, and it's getting so much more, and there's so much potential, and there's a lot of creatives living in Truro, and we, you know, we are celebrating it, but we could celebrate it more. So, you know, because people assume that they all live in St Ives and Falmouth and Penzance and Newlyn, but we're all over the place, and it would be a bit boring if we're all in one place.
Cornwall is jam-packed with creatives. It's such an amazing place to live. I mean, the light is incredible, and that is different in each town. I can't explain it. If you go to St Ives, I always feel like it's got that golden light. And, you know, and different places seem to capture something. It's to do with geology and light and sand and all kinds of stuff. But and now that I'm older, I really, really appreciate that. And I see it. And I've toured all over the world. And I have to say, Cornwall takes my breath away. You know, you stand there and you can't express it. And I think I've developed that passion. Not the passion, it's my homeland, you know, but that deep love of wanting to express it on my canvas and my wood panels so much that you know, it's like writing. Painting's like writing. So it comes out, books come out of people's minds, which is fascinating, isn't it? Yeah. And paintings do the same thing. It's an extension of who you are. And I'm Cornish and I love Cornwall, and it's an extension of who I am, you know, trying to express what I see and feel in my paintings. And in Truro, living here, it's just, being able to travel everywhere. What I was going to say to you is, I still like traveling and getting in the car, and Truro's a good place to live, by the way, for anyone. And a lot of the other towns can be out the way a little bit for me. So I find that it's just a really good base, isn't it? I've said that now, but I'll say it again.
No, definitely. And that's what I always love about talking to you, Sarah, is that it's your passion and enthusiasm for what you do. You do it because you love it, and you've got that genuine interest. And that comes through in the energy in your painting as well, which I think is really exciting. So, right, should we move on to the next question?
Go on then.
Can you tell us, sorry, Harry the Cocker Spaniel is joining in apparently this morning.
That's all right.
Can you tell us what you have been working on during lockdown, the most recent lockdown, lockdown 3?
Things changed a lot in the lockdowns, and lockdown 3 for me was knowing that there was light at the end of the tunnel. And so I started working and building my brand. So because I've got a studio and it's only down the road from me, I was able to walk, come into the studio, shut the door and continue to work. And I have to say that for my sanity, being able to do that, to get out the house, and because I know that a lot of people haven't been able to do that.
Yeah.
And to be able to just paint and work on things, it's really helped. So I've decided to concentrate on building more products from my brand, because I want to be able to have it as a business so that I could enjoy painting and still be able to afford to live and to, you know, have a lifestyle of it. That it's been really enjoyable researching how to do that with the really good quality and professionalism and see what happens, because I tell you what, it really is an experiment. And it takes up all your time. So I feel like I've been like, it's really helped me, this lockdown, because it's a difficult one. I've got young sons, and not young sons, they're teenagers and young men, but you know, it's been a difficult time, isn't it, for everyone? It's a very unusual time.
No, it has been hard, and it's that uncertainty, and you know, as much as you can escape to your practice, you can't help ignoring the situation outside of the studio door. But I guess, you know, lockdown's lovely in some ways when you're an artist, because you get that really indulgent time.
Because you're on your own a lot anyway.
Yeah.
We hear this a lot from people like authors and, you know, people that are often in their studios alone anyway. They're used to it, and I'm used to it. But I did paint at home for a little while in the beginning, the first one, and there's too many. I've got too many dogs and sniffy dogs sniffing oil paint, you know, and it's not, you know, and I've got a kitten now, and she just knocks everything over, and she just doesn't let me work, you know. So
did you have any paw prints in the paintings?
Well, she'll just destroy everything that I do. So
I walked past your house a few weeks ago now, and the kitten was asleep in the window.
Morgawa. She's got one of those cat trees. So I listen to everyone walking past, you know, can I get one? Can I have one? You've got one already. Can we have a new kitten?
Oh,
yeah.
Right. You have many creative skills. What makes you want to paint now as opposed to perform, which is where you first started?
Yeah, when I was performing, it was fantastic. Yeah, it was fantastic performing. It was quite an experience, and it was performing with a group of friends, and in a very, very highly professional way. As in, what we did was professional. I don't know how professional I was, but it was fantastic. But you're a part of a company that's successful, which is wonderful, because it's quite unique company. It's not a franchise or anything. It's but it taught me an awful lot about professionalism and things like that. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to find something later in your life, because there was a time when I was thinking, well, what do I do now? Because it's so physical and so energizing. You can't do it forever, you know, your body's starting to hurt. And I did the same show for 18 years, and you can't always keep coming out with the same new stuff. But moving on from that, it took me about 4 years to find painting. I just did it by accident. I went to Newlyn School of Art and did some courses and things, and then I have not stopped painting. And for me to have that is much better, because it's my thing rather than the company's art. And I think anyone who can find something later, you have much more meaning, and it's grounding, and it's so good for you, and to be able to create something and live off that as well. It's just, I don't know, it's just amazing. And I like sharing it. When we're out of lockdown, I've had people work with me and paint and go out on the coast and all different things. Is that it? Was that it?
Yeah, no, that's lovely. No, that's lovely. And it's, absolutely, long live the time when you can travel further and get, really get out there and get some new source material, etc. But no, it's fascinating. Really, each time I hear your story, I think it's quite interesting just to see how you're, each time. Everything that you do is full of passion and energy, but it comes out in so many different ways, and it's had kind of like transitions in your life. But each time it's quite personal as well. It's, it's very much about Sarah. There's a lot of Sarah kind of integrated in what you create. So, no, it's lovely. Right.
I think also, I was just thinking actually, going away and leaving Cornwall for 30 years, living in Brighton, and then going around the world and everything, and then coming back. There is something about leaving Cornwall, but then coming back with all these things that I'd like to share and do. And I think it's really good to get away and learn lots of things. And I think I recommend it to anyone. I recommend it to my sons, and especially if you've lived here, but go and see the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
Come back, but you really appreciate what's going on here too. And I love everyone in Cornwall. It's brilliant.
Well, they quite often say, don't they, you have to experience other places before you appreciate where you're so familiar with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Important. So, this is quite a nice question to move on to. Have you ever done something or been in a situation where you kind of stop and think, wow, look what I've achieved, or I can't believe I'm doing this, or...
That's sort of that's a sort of fine line with the other one I was talking about, isn't it? Because I've been really lucky to be involved in lots of things that I feel like, wow, that was really good. I've learned about hard work and how to get on with lots of people in a group, coming up from being Cornish and in the country and going across and working professionally with people. I had to really learn a lot. And I think you do it naturally without even knowing that you're doing that. And I just feel really happy that I'm doing this. And I do go, wow, quite a lot actually, that I'm doing it. It's really hard work. That it's there are lots of days you think, you know, you're rubbish or whatever, and then you just have another go, and that's what I'm glad that I've got that, you know, that wanting to keep trying to do that. And to be honest with you, part of my job is going out and walking around on the cliffs and stuff, and I often go, wow, about that, really, that is part of my job.
No, absolutely. Well, that's what inspires you, so...
Yeah, and talk to other people that do that and go out, and you meet all kinds of people. They're not so artists, but people, walkers and animal lovers, and appreciation and learning about people who know a lot about the birds, a lot of people about the sustainability is massive in Cornwall at the moment. So I've been doing work with Cultivator and listening about sustainability and all the groups that are doing that. I mean, it's massive who I want to get involved with and help in some way. There is so much to be involved with. I think all of that is wow factor, really. Lots of people. Yeah.
And you mentioned to me just yesterday, I believe you've been doing some work to your website. So you're constantly, I mean, you're constantly pushing yourself in your practice, both technically, but also, you know, building up the Sarah Eddy art business. So you've been doing quite a lot of work around your Etsy store, which is amazing, has grown strength by strength over the last year. It's been amazing to watch. I don't know how you manage it all. I know you said at Christmas you were just inundated and you felt like an elf almost, packaging up all these orders all the time.
I look like
which is lovely, which is brilliant.
Yeah, no time to paint. I think it would be wonderful as a Cornish business to be able to employ someone one day, because that side of the business is building, and it is really hard work, especially when you want to be personalised. I've got a new website, I've got a new film that's coming out, I'm getting a lot of help with Cornish Cultivator in places, with grants for things. There's so much support down here, it's fantastic. I'm working all the time. But, you know, you do, don't you? You know this from being self-employed, you don't switch off very often. Especially if you enjoy what you're doing. New website, new film being made, lots of new products. Lots of new ideas. Your brain doesn't stop.
No, not at all.
No, right? That's a good idea. Oh, that's a great idea. And I'm not very organised in my head, though, as in I don't write lists or anything. So, and if I do write a list, I don't look at it. So I can get a little bit too busy in my mind. That's why I've got a lot of animals at home. So I just smooth them down and calm down.
I was going to say, because it's your passion, you can't really count that as using walks and creativity to switch off. So spending time with your animals, is that your way of kind of zoning out and trying?
Well, I take the dogs with me. I've got 2 greyhounds. They come out walking with me. And yes, I do. I love that sort of, I do like that sort of environment. The animals and the home life, you know, and going out, the outdoor life. Yeah, I have got a little cat harness, but she hasn't come out on the coast. I think I just want to see her in there.
I look forward to seeing that.
There is a little picture on my Instagram, because I keep dressing her up and doing things.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah, the poor dogs are going, you're always putting the cat on Instagram. What about us?
That's brilliant.
But because she's only 6 months, she keeps doing funny things. So Yeah.
So talking about hobbies, one
Yeah.
of the other one of your other skills which we haven't mentioned and associated with your MA that you did a few years ago is, so you are a fan of literature.
Yeah, I love it.
And you studied an MA in, it was creative writing, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it was professional writing,
Professional
which sounds
writing.
ironic for me if you've ever seen my writing, but it was professional writing, and I did screenwriting and novel writing. So it was very creative. And the farmer was so supportive. It was 4 years ago, and I do have problems with a little bit of dyslexia and grammar and everything, because I sort of got kicked out of school really at the end. But I did always love English. I loved English. And when I first came down here and I didn't know what to do after performing and everything, I went to work at Waterstones for a while, Lane. But it was wonderful because I helped with the sci-fi fantasy, which I absolutely love, graphic novels because of the art, and I helped with the events. So I met a lot of authors and things, and then got to understood the book. What was going on in the industry really, because there was, you know, Amazon and everything and things like that. So I really got into knowing what was about authors and their creativity, and I ran a creative writing thing there as well for people. And I just, so what I've done now, because I'm painting all the time and I still love novels, I'm actually listening to audiobooks more than I am reading. So but I actually love it. It's either film scores that I listen to with no words because it's just emotional, so it's great for writing actually, and it's great for painting. But audiobooks are really, really good a way for me to catch up. But I'm reading I think you asked me this the other day actually, Clara and the Sun is what I'm listening to at the moment, which is the new Zero Issue Guru book, which is just amazing. It's fantastic. But I was listening to the Michelle Obama and Barack Obama's. I don't normally do non-fiction, but they were really fascinating at a time when I wanted to hear some grown-ups. And it helped me understand, you know, a lot listening. But it was really fantastic. And but normally it's a lot of I like the strange things. I like strange stories,
which you wouldn't anticipate looking at your paintings.
Yeah, I like strange, but not too horrible. I like more like a good ghosty haunted house story. Okay. I love that, you know. So I like things that are a bit paranormal, a bit different, a bit yeah. Neil Gaiman's my favourite, so that might help.
Okay.
No, just the things that I like. I mean, he's wonderful. I love all his stuff and his graphic novels and stuff like that.
Well, I think what might be quite nice is later on in the day, maybe this evening, we could share a few of Sarah's top reads, maybe the top 10. Yeah,
I do read a lot actually. I mean, I read books that everyone else reads as well, you know, see what's going on, and yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for answering my questions. Now, I believe in the Salt Live tradition, you have 2 questions to ask me, which I have not been able to prepare for, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you're going to ask me.
I think you'll be all right with these. I mean, I've always wondered about you, and I might have asked you before. I mean, you studied art yourself, but then you went and did a curator study, didn't you, and do a lot of that. And so you look after so many artists, and you've been such an amazing help for me. If I ever get stuck, I always don't like getting a message again. What do you do? Can you write this in grown-up language and stuff? And you've been a wonderful help. And I just wondered, do you miss doing your art? Do you get a chance to do any? Because you've got a young family and you must be so busy. You always seem to be busy as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. So so I did my degree and graduated with a fine art degree in 2008, and I spent a good 5 years, you know, really pushing my practice, exhibiting my artwork, and I just I learnt so much about myself when I was doing that work in the studio, and no, it was a really important time for me. And then I discovered that I was very good at arranging, displaying, curating, and I wanted to push myself further and did my MA. And there are, admittedly, my job, especially at the moment, is particularly admin heavy, computer based, and a lot of writing, and for some reason a lot of numbers and accounting. And I hated English and I hated maths at school, which is bizarre. But applying, my passion to create for creativity and culture, I found something I really enjoy. And it's all quite digital based, but one thing I really enjoy is doing things with my hands. So, for example, I recently built a website for Christopher Tate, and all of the layouts.
Yeah.
His work's beautiful, and gorgeous, all of the layout I did physically by cutting out mini images and creating a collage on my table.
I bet that was brilliant.
A real analog approach. So, and I do like painting with my daughter quite often. She's still she's given up, and I'm still at the table busy working away. So I do still find a way to express myself, but in a slightly different way. And actually sharing that energy with other creatives kind of suffices that urge.
And also understanding them, I guess, isn't it? Because you do have a really good understanding.
Well, I think it's really important to understand both sides. Sorry, Harry's playing silly monkeys with a stool. But it's a bit like if you run a shop, it's important to understand being the customer and then the business owner. Exactly. There's always two sides. Yeah. And actually, to understand the mindset of an artist is quite difficult. But having been in that situation, I do understand it. So, but yeah, there are times where I miss it, but I love what I do, and that energy goes in a slightly different direction. And I cannot wait to install a proper physical exhibition and start holding artwork again and arranging physical objects. That will be, I'll be at my happiest then. Long live, let it happen soon.
Oh God, yeah. And the other question was, I don't know if you're allowed to announce anything on here yet, because things might be, in the background still. But have you got anything new that's coming up, exciting? Because you always got ideas, and you've always got something new to tell me.
I would say my newest idea and something that I am working on is I'm developing a new website. Well, I haven't actually got a website at the moment, but I'm developing a website, and I am by the end of the year, I'm hoping to have a core group of 10 artists that I represent through exhibiting their work, pushing social media, bringing in opportunities for them, developing their practice. And I'm a true believer in everyone that I work with. I would never flog a dead horse. I promote what I believe in. So all the artists that I work with, the dynamic works, the relationship works, and I truly believe in their work. And I think that's really important. You can't ask someone to invest in an artist's work if you don't genuinely believe in it.
No,
so for me, there's a lot of my heart and Charlotte in my business, because it's important to me. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to developing that and seeing what
I've
happens.
got some ideas I want to talk to you about, but I have to do it in secret later on, so people can wait, because it might be utter rubbish, but I know that you'll tell me.
But no, I just have to start somewhere, don't I? So, and I always say, no matter how ridiculous an idea sounds, tell me and let's see what we can make happen. And quite often those crazy ideas do turn into something amazing. So
it's like my products. I just wasn't too sure about one or two. Just had a friend in who helps me. She's picking up some stuff, and then you get the go ahead, and it's just like, oh, okay, good. Because you need feedback. Actually, in lockdown, that's what we're all missing. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I get bananas
and feedback, and I feel sorry for lots of people, but yeah, it's that's what we all need again, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Some feedback. But yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. It's been brilliant half an hour chatting away. Thank you, everybody who's listening. We've just got Glory Girl here who's just said, hi, Sarah. Hello,
Oh yes, hello Margaret.
everybody. We've got Katie, one of my old school friends. We've got Brother Jasper here. We've got Anna,
That's one of the stompers. Brother Jasper.
Alana. Oh, we've got one of the Stompers. Hi, Stompers. Buddy Cornwall, Sarah Graham, Rebecca Hazard, Emily Hankin Cake, Stuart. I mean, the list.
Emily's downstairs. She does amazing painted wedding cakes. She's in Prince's house as well. So, yeah. Yay!
Fabulous. Steve, Andrew, and Duncan. So thank you, everybody who's listening.
Thank you.
Really.
And I'm sorry about the wonky phone, but I expect it. My hand is holding up my phone, and it's very old hand.
I've written off pain for the day now because your hand's stuck like this. We're going to save this all up and we're going to share it afterwards and push it again this evening. So if anyone has missed it, you can watch it again later. Thank you, Sarah. We will speak to you soon and enjoy the sunshine, everybody. Take care.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, lovely.
Bye. Take care.